21st, 2026. This meeting is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Annual notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald and the Daily Record. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building for public announcements. Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Falcone.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Kukovic. Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Glatte.
Here. And if you'll stand and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving along, we don't have any proclamations this evening. I would like to welcome Ron Tappan to Hopakon, our new administrator. Mr. Tappan brings with him a depth of municipal and county level experience that is both exceptional and directly relevant to the needs of our borough. He previously served as a borough administrator for the borough of Hopakon from 2017 through 2022, and at Sussex County as the administrator from 2016 to 2017 and 22 to 2025. During his prior tenure as Hopakon's administrator, Ron demonstrated comprehensive expertise in municipal finance, real estate, water and sewer utilities, DPW operations, police and fire services. He was an active participant in the senior advisory group, Clean Communities, the Green Team, and Sustainable Jersey. He helped us receive the Bronze Award for Sustainable Jersey. Ron also, while he was here last, administered the borough's abandoned property sales, which returned over $1 million in assessed value to the tax rolls, generating $337,000 in cash receipts, while allowing those properties to be reassessed at appropriate new values. We're expecting that again, Ron. Ron currently serves as an active commissioner of both the New Jersey Joint Insurance Fund and the New Jersey Health Insurance Fund, and he sits on the Best Practices Committee of the North Jersey Joint Insurance Fund. Obviously, Ron brings a wealth of experience and knowledge to Hopakon, especially being here before. But most importantly, Ron will bring a high level of professionalism to the municipal building. He brings energy, leadership, and accountability to our department heads and our employees. And he will be an all-around asset to the borough of Hopakon. His experience with DPW, water, sewer, economic development, land sales, recreation, certified purchasing, and budgeting uniquely positions him to lead Hopakon effectively and confidently. And I'm excited to have you here, Ron.
Thank you very much.
For many reasons that you can never imagine. Moving along, I also want to take the time to thank our previous OEM coordinator, Wade Crowley, and our deputy OEM coordinator, Kevin Schneider, for their many years of service in their positions. Serving in emergency management requires time, availability, and a willingness to step forward when needed. And we acknowledge the commitment that is involved in taking on those responsibilities on behalf of the borough. So I wanted to let Wade and Kevin know that we appreciate their service to Hopakon and we wish them well. They are members of our fire department, so they're not that far away. I also want to remind everyone that this is the time of year to nominate seniors for Senior Citizen of the Year. The Senior Advisory Committee will be picking from the applications received in April. So the cutoff date for that is April 1st, 2026. The qualifications for that are they have to be over 60 years old. The applications get sent to my office here at the town. And this is also the time of year. Last year, I created the Mayor Citizen of the Year Award. And this is, again, an annual honor recognizing an individual or a couple whose volunteerism, dedication, and outstanding service have made a significant and lasting contribution to our community. And we'll have the forms available online. I know that Max and I are working on those. And again, that's something that the cutoff is April 1st also. With the 250th anniversary coming this year, 250th anniversary of America, the Morris County has created a hop sale event, which is a boating event on Lake Hopakon. It is going to be on July 11th. It's a Saturday. It'll be from 11 to 1. There is discussion about us closing River Styx Bridge because it's going to be an area where you can view the boat parade, because that's what it's really going to start off with. It's going to be a boat parade on the lake with different sailing and paddling, which will take place. I know that, Ron, you were at the meeting today. Was there anything?
Yeah, that's the gist of it. They're just trying to predict how many boats are going to be. It looks like it's going to be a very good turnout. They're talking about a possibility of judging boats that they want to decorate in a commemorative way. And right now they're kind of all over the map a little bit. Looks like it's going to start around Henderson Cove and go all the way around with Miss Lotta leading, and then Miss Lotta will ultimately stop and all the boats will go by the Miss Lotta, and the judges will be there to do that. So really a lot of logistics that's coming out with that. Morris County Tourism is picking up some of the development of the publications for that. And it's still early in it. We meet again February the 11th to go over more of the details. So stay tuned on that.
Thank you. Just some information from 2025 that I did not have in my mayor's report last meeting. The Hopakon phase 1 of the New Jersey Natural Gas Project is nearing the finish line. It has less than 4,000 feet left to install in phase 1. Their engineer has submitted the application for the next phase, which is under review currently. Prospective 690 customers in phase 1, 219 of them have taken advantage of signing up to New Jersey Natural Gas. That's more than 30%. And the rest of the participants can also sign up while they're still doing the project, and they are still welcoming projects in for phase 1 to be connected. Phase 2, I know that New Jersey Natural Gas is having a meeting for the phase 2 residents, and that will be on February 10th. Animal control numbers for 2025, there were 269 calls, there were 86 deer calls, 8 bear calls, and 175 animal control. Recreation last year was very busy. There was an updated facility application, a new facility fee schedule that came into play. There were installed AEDs at every field, which is wonderful. The creation of the new Recreation Department Facebook page, and Noriticong had some great capital improvements with new fencing, new batter's box, pitcher's mound, and an infield and outfield. Reestablished the electricity for the lights at Noriticong also. We have the Leap in the Lake that is coming to the area. The Lake Hopakon Elks sponsor the event. This year it's called 1 Million Smiles because their goal is to actually raise $1 million. All of the money that they raise, they give back to the children in their programs. Hopakon this year is going to have a team. So if you're interested in signing up for the team, you can sign up with me, or you can sign up with our OEM coordinator, Rich. It is $50 to sign up, but that allows you to get into the after party after you've gone into the lake. I will be hawking some of you to do that. So just so you know. The grants, as of June of 2024, I was working very diligently with Congressman Kane's office to secure a loan for lead service line replacements. There are still lead service lines that residents have in their properties that go from their curb box into their house. In 2030, all residents in the state of New Jersey that have their own water system, they will need to, if they have lead line replacements, get those replaced. If not, the state will actually come out and do the replacement and charge you for it. It's one of the only laws that I'm aware of that have been passed where the state has given permission for someone to cross onto your private property. So the lead service line replacement is a really big deal. And I've been working with Congressman Kane's office, and I was really happy actually on Ron's first day. I actually found out that we had actually secured $1 million of a grant, which is fabulous news for Hopakon. There were 6 projects in the New Jersey District 7 for Congressman Kane's area, and we actually had the biggest award out of everybody. So that was really, really impressive for us as Hopakon because we were up against a lot of other larger towns. But it was really nice to have that come through for us. So we have a meeting coming up with our engineer at the end of this month, so we'll be able to start discussing that and how we would actually start working on that. We've been asking our water customers if they do have lead lines to reach out to us, because the grant that exists is not going to last for all of the customers. So the grant is going to be basically first come, first serve. So if you have a lead line and you know you have a lead line, you should reach out to our water department to let them know that, so that we can start processing and putting you on the list of that. So it is exciting. I want to say for Hopakon, in the last 30 days, we've received $2.4 million in grants, in just 2 grants. So I'm really happy about that. The other one I mentioned at the last meeting was the phase 2 of the River Styx grant, which will be from the traffic light here at Hopatchong to the traffic light by the Elite Prep School. And that will be sidewalks and crosswalks and lights and all kinds of great stuff that'll happen there. But exciting that Hopakon has $2.4 million today that they didn't have before, which is very good.
It's good news.
It is. It's very exciting. It's exciting to see things happen, because again, since COVID, there hasn't been a lot of things that stayed the same. So it is exciting. So moving along to committee reports. I know a lot of committees haven't met yet. I will start with Rachel.
So I want to kick off by wishing good luck to the Lady Chiefs. They have their send-off for Disney. First time they're going down in 26 years. So Wednesday, January 28th at 6 p.m. Their performance will be in the auxiliary gym, and then they will be providing refreshments in the cafeteria. I also want to congratulate the Hopakon Warriors competition cheerleaders. Juniors and seniors were up in Connecticut this past weekend. Seniors ended up taking second, which was phenomenal. The juniors did well. They didn't take first, but they placed, which is always great. And then the minis took second place in their competition in Montville this past weekend as well. So all of our cheer teams are doing us well for Hopakon. So congratulations to them. Ordinance, we are meeting next week. So nothing there yet. Real estate, I know we've discussed, is on hold. I'm hoping we can get that up and going, since that's a source of revenue for the town. So that's a goal for us to get that back on the books. And then fire, we do have our committee meeting next week. Some good news I just found out was Captain Henry Sardina III is going to be added to the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial this May in Emmitsburg, Maryland. So there will be a candlelight vigil that is held, I believe it's May 2nd, and then the actual memorial, I believe, is happening on May 3rd. So that's going to be a wonderful addition down there, and their family will be attending. And the only other thing I have is I know we've had a lot of new families joining, coming to Hopakon, and the fire department is a great way to break the ice and get involved in your community. It's not just handing out hot dogs and driving cool trucks, right, Steve?
Cool trucks.
They do provide you a clothing allowance, LoSAP. They will provide your training as long as you're 18 and over. They do have a cadet program if you're under the age of 18. So I highly recommend stopping in on a Sunday morning or a Thursday night. We have 3 houses, and talking to a lot of our hometown, heroes here. So that was it.
Thank you. Anthony?
Yes, no update on the finance committee yet. Things are progressing for the budget. On the communications committee, we did complete the first draft of the governing body operational policy. We submitted that to business administrator as well as the attorney, and after they review that, the clerk will send that out to each of the council people to review. And hopefully we can have some discussion and vote on that at the next meeting. So I think that'll help us be more collaborative and productive as we move into 2026.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe?
No committee updates for me, but I also want to welcome Mr. Tappan back to the borough.
Thank you.
Look forward to working with you. Look forward to learning a lot from you.
Oh, okay.
So welcome back.
Congratulations.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
That's all I have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jennifer?
Alliance met yesterday. They are planning a movie night and a candy bingo on May 1st. Details to come. January is Substance Abuse Treatment Month. They are going to be doing Girls on the Run. The deadline to sign up is January 30th. I don't have the information, but there is a flyer on the Facebook page. The deadline to sign up is January 30th. Girls 3rd through 5th grade. So it's the 1 grade in Tulsa and then 2 of the grades in the middle school, the 4th and 5th. The Elks were at the meeting and they have a lot of really good stuff happening. They're sending 15 kids to peer leadership the first weekend of February. 3 of those students are from Hopakon. As the mayor said, the Leap in the Lake is March 7th. February 21st and 22nd. It sounds so fun. They're doing a pig roast on the 21st, and then on the 22nd, they're doing a penguin race where it's $5 per penguin. And afterwards, and then there's prizes, cash prizes. And then afterwards, they're doing like penguin food. So like clams, shrimp, like hot dogs, hamburgers, and that's 1 to 4 p.m. February 18th, they're doing a fish fry that you have to call and reserve for because that gets sold out very quickly. And on March 28th, they're doing, this is still in the works, but an adult Easter egg hunt at 6 p.m. So much, sounds like so much fun. So the Alliance's next meeting is Monday, March 16th at 6 p.m. In council chambers. For school, I wanted to congratulate our newly elected and returning Board of Ed members, Nicole Falcone Schubert, Veronica Schramm, and Kevin Davio. They are hosting a Tricky Tray. The PTSO is holding a Tricky Tray on March 21st. It is one of, if not the biggest fundraisers for the project graduations for all 4 grades. Doors open at 1:30 p.m. Calling starts at 4. Last year, they raised a ton of money and it was really fun and they had a lot of really great baskets. Email hopakonhighschoolptso@gmail.com. Last night, Project Graduation 2026 hosted the Wizards and they sold 325 tickets, which is amazing. And tomorrow is the high school winter concert at 7 p.m. at the high school auditorium. And the next Board of Ed meeting is on Monday, January 26th at 7 p.m. in the administration building. As Councilwoman Rodriguez said, the ordinance committee is meeting next Wednesday. And for ambulance, they're always looking for volunteers. And if you're interested in volunteering for the ambulance, email contact@hopakonems.org. That's all.
Thank you. Jonathan? Steve?
So Ron Tappan, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Also want to touch up with Wade Crowley and Kevin Snyder for their service to the town. I know it takes a great deal of time and effort, especially what they do. Also, like we had one committee meeting last week, which was a trail committee meeting. And for someone that's not big into trail, the only trail I've done is like Hudson Hill for the past 25 years, which I enjoy. I thought it was gonna be a 5-minute call-in, and that was it. Well, an hour and a half later, I learned so much about trails, how to maintain it, trim it, and how much volunteers it takes to maintain those trails. So I was kind of impressed with that. It was like almost a competitive trail hiking trail. But they're going to be looking for volunteers probably in March or April. And they'll post it on the website, and now, the closer we get to March or April, we'll, give up the information and stuff on it. So whoever's interested in going out on trail hikings and stuff. And then the rest of the committee meetings, we're meeting next week, and then we'll have an update the following, meeting. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Moving on to our administrator's report.
Thank you. First of all, thank all of you for the support of coming back, and it was a very warming welcome back to the staff. It was very refreshing to meet everybody. We had some bagels and things together, and it was just nice to see everybody again. It's like coming home again, a little bit like Peter Pan, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, it's a privilege to serve here in Hopakon, and I thank everyone for that. I too attended the trail management meeting. I have never been to one of those, and boy, there's a lot of trails, and it's a lot of volunteerism that's needed to help keep those up, and we'll have more information on that. As the mayor spoke, today at 4 we had the Hopakon 250 meeting about the boat trip on the Hopakon. That's going to take a life of itself. I met with all the department heads. I've gone and talked to most all employees. I haven't got to all the DPW guys because they've been a little busy this past week. So I haven't got to all of them yet, but I'm 97% got with everybody. I drove our treasurer nuts the last 2 weeks, talking about budget, talking about union contracts. We've given her the white collar contract for a fiscal review. I'm starting up the negotiations with the blue collar tomorrow. So I'll have better information about that, get that ready to go from the fiscal review, and we'll go and review those contracts. Tomorrow, we have a pre-con meeting with New Jersey Natural Gas for the next phase of the gas mains. So we'll start looking at the pre-con issues to get that moving. And Friday, I have a meeting with the grant writer. I was upset I was involved in the 2.5 million that we already got. So we got them coming in Friday so we can talk about some more grants that we can take advantage of. I got a listing in my office. It's 1,000. I gotta get a bigger board because I got out of room, and I apologize for anybody that's emailed for certain information. I will get that to you, I promise. But I've hit some of the big hitters here that I thought were important. The budget, the union contracts, the budget. And I will get those out to you. To your point, I went to the assessor, I emailed her today. She has 25 to 50 more properties to review, and she'll have that list of available properties to us by next week. So,
So Ron, you've only been here for 8 days, but it sounds like you've done a lot, so
it's been busy.
we'll keep our patience, when it comes to you responding to us.
All right.
Because it does sound like you're very busy, but thank you. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
So I'll make the motion.
All in favor?
I,
So the meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that is on or off the agenda. Pete?
did you raise your hand, Pete?
Huh?
Did you raise your hand?
Yeah,
Love that.
that. One wishes to speak, one needs to raise one's hand. Saturday, I turned 73. Yes, I'm old school.
Happy birthday.
Pete.
So, you mentioned lead lines. How do we determine if we have a lead line?
So if you go onto our website, there is information on our website that there's a really easy way to tell with a penny. If you go onto the website, you'll be able to see it. It looks like this. And you actually, if you have a copper pipe on the inside of your house where
Yes.
your expansion tank is, you don't have lead lines.
Okay,
It's when they're darker, when they look galvanized, and you actually scratch them with a penny to see
Okay.
what comes up.
yeah, the line that comes from my pump into the house is a black PVC pipe or something
Yeah,
like
then
that.
you don't have lead lines then.
Okay, very
You're
good. Thank
You're
you.
safe. Anyone else? Dave?
I was just curious, the cable vision company, is that Optimum? Or
Yes.
That's Optimum.
Yes.
And is there a length to the contract or is it just a change of name?
We had already passed the contract at a previous meeting and it's a 10-year contract. It's a franchise contract for 10 years.
Right.
And we already passed that. This is, they've changed their name. Altice has changed their name, and that's what this is today on the agenda. It's just
Right.
like a housekeeping
Right.
type of thing.
I was just curious, have the walls been painted?
No.
Oh, because I thought that's why the clock has been lowered over there.
No, they're working on the thermostat and working on the heating system, so they're hammering and it keeps falling off the wall. So until they finish working on the heat, we have to make do with the clock on the side.
That was good.
Number one issue on my list to do tomorrow, Dave.
Very good. And do you have on your list about the microphone? Oh, you didn't get that yet?
No, not yet.
A new podium.
We'll get there, Dave. Don't worry. We'll get there.
We'll get there. How about I wait to see it?
Dave.
Anyone else?
Anybody else?
It's over.
Not seeing anything? Motion to bring it back?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Moving on to the approval of the minutes, approval of the December 15, 16, 17, and 22 of 2025 regular/executive minutes. Jonathan, obviously.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Abstain.
And the approval of the January 7th, 2026 regular/executive meeting minutes?
Motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
We don't have any correspondence. Moving on to the consent agenda. We actually put the consent agenda on for this agenda to try it. Mr. Falcone had suggested it at the last meeting, and we do have it as part of our agenda listing. So we put everything on the consent agenda, the reports and resolutions that do not include money. If there's anything that anybody wanted to pull out separately, we could always do that. It makes streamlining some of the resolutions a little bit easier. I can explain that the cash management plan, we need to add the administrative clerk for finance. If our CFO, for whatever the reason, is not available when we have to do a transfer of something of importance, she's technically the only person who can do that. 2026-30 appointment of class 2 and class 3 special officers. You have already approved the salaries at a previous meeting for the class 2 and class 3 special officers. The chief is just naming the officers in the resolution. Can I have a motion for the consent agenda
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yeah.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-28 refund tax overpayments / cancel future taxes for block 30702 lot 20
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-31, a refund of basketball program fees
Motion.
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Taylor.
Yes.
Miss, I apologize. Ms. Rodriguez.
You said that.
And
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yeah.
It's a long.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
another life, right?
Here's Donna's temperature.
2026-32, approve the hiring of the police officer.
Motion.
Second.
Just discussion. I just want to wish him well. He's attending the Morris County Police Academy and started just the other week. So praying for his sanity that he makes it through.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Miss Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. Resolution 2026-33, authorizing transfers between certain budget appropriations in the 2025 current fund
Motion.
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. The bill list 2026-34.
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
I have 2 bills that I need pulled.
What do you need pulled?
25-02309 and 26-00056.
So is there a motion and a second to pass the bills minus the two
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. And we need a motion to move 25-0009 and 26-00056
So made.
Second.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
I want to vote no on the 25-02309 and abstain from 26-00056.
Got it. Mr. Kuzvic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to ordinances, ordinance introduction 1-2026, granting municipal consent to Cablevision to update to do business as a name change, an ordinance granting municipal consent for the operation of a cable television system within the borough of Hopatcong, New Jersey to CSC TKR LLC.
Make the motion.
Second.
And I do have a question about this. I know the last time we had asked about the wellness center, we were told it's an administrative decision as to like its future and what's happening, but under section 10, the free service, we have that listed. And it's a 10-year franchise, so like, are we keeping it? So we should keep the free service there, or is there another building that we can allocate the free service to if that space isn't gonna be occupied? So I don't know what's happening with the wellness center.
It's a question that we can certainly ask, but it is a 10-year contract and the contract is already signed and passed by the council. This is just a name change. But we can certainly make a note of that for the future.
Was it on the previous ordinance?
Mhm.
The wellness center was on the previous ordinance.
The
Yeah, but we
contract,
don't,
yes.
yeah, but
Is
we
it
don't
on there
know.
now?
It's on here,
Oh.
but the reason I bring up the question is because we don't know what the future of the wellness center is. That's why I wasn't sure, because the lease is up, I believe, next month, and we don't know where that stands. So,
Thanks.
Right. Well, again, Ron's only been here 7 days. There's.
oh, no,
there's
I'm aware.
stuff.
That's, yeah, that's why I'm just
There's so much
bringing
you
it up
can
as
do.
something to look into.
Problem. No, but I thought we had a discussion regarding that to have it as a temporary to slide it to something else potentially
The what?
for the wellness center.
Shelby said it was an administrative decision, because we asked about it at a prior council meeting, and that's not made amongst council.
Well, again, Ron just got here, so I'm sure that there'll be a conversation about the wellness center that's coming up because we have asked for an extension from the lease because Ron just got here. So
You
that's,
just got here?
Yeah, I just.
you wouldn't know by his lips, but yes, he just
I
got here.
don't think terms and conditions of the ordinance, I think the only thing we're changing is the name. We're not
Right.
changing.
We're not
any
changing
terms and
anything.
conditions of the ordinance,
The doing
so-
business.
Right.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. Yeah, no, and I understand.
Okay.
It's once, whether we extend the service or my question is, I guess if we don't extend service, would they allow us to move it? That's all. So,
We have a motion and a second, roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay. And that'll be on the February, second meeting in February, second meeting in February.
For final, yeah.
For final reading, that'll be our second meeting in February, final reading. Moving on to old business cannabis.
Yeah, so for cannabis, I know last year we had talked about, getting a cannabis ordinance together. We had been waiting on a report from the municipal planner from August. So I'm wondering if we can get that report from the municipal planner. I know, Ron, you just started, but that was something that was in the works. Van Cleef was going to be getting us a report for the zones and where we could put certain recreational or manufacturing or growth or, whatever it is that fell under the ordinance. And then we were also had requested information on a cannabis attorney. There's only one. I can get you his name. But I had spoken to not Mr. Wade, but Mr. Lavery. And they don't specialize in that. So he had kind of, Mike had referred us to the other attorney. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. But for me, cannabis, last year, I think the 6 out of the 6 of us were pretty much on board with moving ahead with cannabis in some way, shape or form. It would be a source of revenue to bring money into the borough. It would be a way for us to offset tax increases. And that's kind of, I think that was number 1 on my list in my email to you. Because it's a form of revenue, a steady form of revenue for the borough. So I wanted to kind of bring that up and see how you guys were feeling about it going forward, the council.
Yeah, I mean, my position hasn't changed, Jen. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I know that there was some work that was being done on the communication committee regarding getting a
Survey question.
survey question. I don't know.
Tied to the website.
Okay.
It's a work in progress.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think now is a good time. I know, Ron, you just got here, but I think now is a good time to to pick that back up again and hit the ground running with it.
A quick question, have we had any investors or entrepreneurs or
No,
somebody
no.
attach us?
No,
that-
because we have,
Sometimes they'll pay for some of the stuff. that
right, well,
we have-
because we have had, well, because we prohibited it, there hasn't been anybody who's come, well, that's not true. You brought something up last time, didn't you?
Well, what I said was that in my property, I've got a lot of calls from people who wanted to grow, but that doesn't fit into what I was looking to do with that property, so that number one.
So there's, but when you prohibit it, on land use, it's prohibited, and then, you know, we have the ordinance that we passed in 2020 to prohibit the recreational sales and all ordinance, so
Okay.
I don't think that you're gonna have people who would come. I do have a contact, and I don't know where my bounds lie in this, so if I'm out of bounds, please let me know. But when I was down at League, there was someone who did approach me. I did go to the Cannabis Regulatory Committee meeting down there. I got a lot of information, which was very helpful. And there was actually a woman who came up and she was like, hey, listen, if you're looking to open up a recreational, here's my card. I have her card. I can call her or whatever, if it's within my, you know, bounds as.
Let's get
I
the
would-
report, let's get the planning stuff
Yeah,
first.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
let's
we've been
get,
waiting for that since August. I
let's
feel
put a
like we
bow
need to
on that
kind of,
first.
yeah.
So
can we give them, would it be inappropriate for us to give them like a time limit? Since it's been since August that we've been waiting?
I'll call them tomorrow, find out.
Thank you.
And so these will stay on here, right, Steve? Is that that's your process? So like until cannabis is done, you want that, it'll just stay?
No, that's a great idea, Steve.
Are you done with your stuff?
Yes,
Yeah, I
love
don't
it.
think our mindset has changed. I think we need to look into revenue because we like spending money, so.
Well, we have to
Find a
spend
new way
money.
of, you know.
Bringing it in.
But as far as the short-term rental, I think I saw a rough draft a couple of days ago. And I like it. I think we're just looking some, you know, application fees and annual membership fee to charge them. And I think once we kind of, you know, come up with that, we'll come up with the, you know, ordinance and present to the council for review. And
Present it to the ordinance committee first, go through all the ordinances, go through the ordinance committee
Yeah.
first.
We can do
That you had, that was the checklist, that was the new checklist that was made. And then the application, we're still working on the new application.
Oh, we jumped into short terms, okay. Yeah, we're still on cannabis.
Yeah.
Steve,
The
Do you have any other
app-
questions?
Yeah.
It could have been answered, Ron. You just.
Right.
The application's pretty much going to
It's like
be
application.
similar.
Went from weed to
It's just gonna
vacation.
have all the new revision.
You go hand in hand.
And be a little more closed, easier to enforce.
Did you have any other questions on the cannabis, Ron?
No, I'm
I did-
fine, no,
did jump
no, I
there.
got it, I'm just
He's in a
gonna get
good
with the
spot.
planner and find out where he's at with that. We gotta have all that information, that's where all the dots and the Ts are crossed for that, so.
so for the short-term rental, Steve's talking about the new checklist that we had created for the short-term rentals. The application will stay similar. We just have to update it with the new information from the checklist. And then we will more than likely be coming in front of the council with new fees associated with short-term rentals.
So my question, and this is just, Ron, this is a process question. I ask these a lot, so I'm sorry.
That's
So
all right.
because we have an ordinance committee, so does that have to go before the ordinance committee first to review and then it comes to council? Like, what is the ordinance committee
No,
specifically?
it's a change in the application. It's not a change in the ordinance. The ordinance isn't changed. The only thing that's gonna change in the ordinance is the fee change.
Mhm.
And that would be just something that you could go in front of the ordinance committee with, but the application is the application and the checklist is the checklist. They're two separate things.
I think your question is more general in nature, right?
We should add any new ordinance, anything like that, my understanding of ordinance committees is that gets two of the council people involved in that. And you educate each other and get all the information you need to that, and you're the educator to the council on that particular issue. To the mayor and to the attorney, every which way that has to go. So it's kind of the first stop in the path.
Okay. Thank you.
I had two other things for old business that just came up. One of them came up in a conversation today with the previous captain of the ambulance squad. On the bill list today, there was a payment for LoSAP. The captain had come to a previous council meeting and there was an issue with the LoSAP for some of the members. We internally spent a phenomenal amount of time researching it and found out exactly where the problem was. So we actually, the check that you passed on the bill list is catching those people up for LoSAP. However, I am going to put a resolution together for the February meeting because I would really like the council to consider giving those people who were behind in the LoSAP because there was an error and they didn't receive it correctly, they lost their dividend that was paid like all of the other members of LoSAP received. So I am going to put a resolution together to ask the council at the next meeting to give that dividend that they didn't receive to the ambulance squad because they shouldn't be penalized. It wasn't their fault. They did get their information in. There was just an error that was made. It was caught, but they did lose that dividend. And I think that we do owe that back to them because the mistake was made. We did catch it, but we should do the right thing and we should give them that back. So just so you know.
I think that the other issue with that too is that there's still people missing from that list, from the LoSAP list. There are 6 people still missing from the list that you gave me from today.
I think there's 8 on that list, right?
And we're missing, I think we're missing 7. I think there's 15 total. I'll get you the names.
If you want to, I don't have them.
Okay, I'll get you the names.
Okay, so if there's still something that's an issue, we will certainly stay on top of that so that we can get everything fixed. But again,
And this only affects the EMS, not the
No.
fire department.
There's some people from fire on there.
Is there?
Yes,
How'd you acquire this information?
I asked for it.
What did you ask?
I emailed and asked the question about, because I knew that there was an issue with LoSAP. So when the agenda came out and I saw the LoSAP on the bill list, I emailed the clerk and the mayor and Ron, and I asked for the list of the people that we were paying LoSAP for.
okay. The second thing for old businesses, I neglected to put on the reorg agenda, the communication committee. So I'm just alerting the council that the communication committee is still up and running and happening. And right now, Anthony is the only one that's on that because I didn't realize I didn't put it on there. Moving on to new business, discussing the decommissioning of the Recreation Commission and creating a recreation committee.
Anybody have any questions for me on that? I know we discussed that at the last meeting, but I'm more than happy to expand on it.
Can you give it, yeah, can you give us like an overview of what that looks like and why and?
Yeah, so, for a long time, we didn't have a superintendent of recreation in town. So I believe, and correct me where I'm wrong here, that the commission was created to kind of run the day-to-day responsibilities of the rec programs. Now, to date, I think the commission has done a fantastic job with all events and sports that they've been involved with, but something that kind of doesn't make sense to me is if we have a superintendent of rec, why do we still have a commission where essentially it seems very much to me that the superintendent of rec is kind of beholden to doing things that he wants to do because he needs approval from a commission, which is made up of volunteers. I love volunteers. I volunteer. We would never turn any volunteers away. My preference is that we make the commission into a committee. We keep all the volunteers on board that want to continue to volunteer. But I think it frees up a department head that they no longer have to report to volunteers. And it gives him a little bit more, I would probably say a clear sight and a little bit more freedom to be able to do his job and do his job successfully. Not to say that he hasn't, but I think that there's times where things get in the way of that. And I think I don't know of any other department head that reports to just everyday taxpayers and volunteers. So for me, from a commonsensical perspective and a streamlined perspective, I think this is kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, but certainly open to anybody's opinion and interpretation of that.
Does our does our superintendent, because I know I'm trying not to say names, does our superintendent of rec actually, he doesn't report to the commission, right? Like, isn't it kind of like this is my understanding is the commission is like a checkbook, so it's like the checks and balances, so like he'll maybe collaborate with them and discuss with them. And then they have a budget in which they have to work within, so it's like not just one person
Sure.
running it, and I'm asking, that's what I don't.
That's.
I don't think I don't know if he reports to them
Well,
though.
not that they report to him, but there's things that he can't do without a formal vote, right? Like simple things. I'll give you a case in point. For the Halloween parade, he had asked kind of, it was a very casual conversation. Do we want to start the parade here at point A or point B? And it was determined that he couldn't make that decision. It had to go through a voting process. Now, to me, that just seems like bureaucracy and a complete waste of time for everybody to get in a room and vote on that. So if that's the case, simple things like that. Now, maybe reporting is the wrong thing, but I think the gentleman to my right is the checks and balances for department heads, right? So I think that would be, if you were to draw a line, right, as far as like the reporting of the superintendent directly into Mr. Tappan. And then obviously, you know, like I said, the volunteers would be, you know, still part of recreation, still part of planning, still part of all of that. But it would be, yeah, I think it would be just one less layer for the superintendent of rec to be able to kind of do his job and get some of the things that he wants to get through in a more seamless, easier, more commonsensical manner. I think the commission served a great purpose because we didn't have a department head in that place. We do now. And I say we let that person spread their wings and do all the great things that I think we know he can do.
And I think the other point too, like a lot of the stuff that the Recreation Commission approves, bill wise, we also approve. So you saw the two basketball refunds on the bills list, that was approved at the commission, and then we have to approve it again. So that's, I kind of think the other level of like, you know, bureaucracy that Joe was talking about that maybe doesn't need to be there. Because we are also the checks and balances, and we have a qualified CFO and an administrator to look at all that stuff, and for the superintendent to be reporting to.
Yeah, I think if you draw the most recent parallel, right, I think it's the change that we made for the police commission versus committee. I think it just runs basically in line with that.
So Joe, to me, it sounds like a struggle with power maybe, or reporting, like who reports to who and why, and especially like with parade, like where it starts, where like that sounds like internal like struggles, right?
Well, that's part, yeah, that's a good point, Steve, right? I think.
So what you're proposing is like, instead of commission, have like a recreation committee.
Correct.
Yes.
Which is basically like, you know, like they can still do what they do, right? But just they don't have that power or authority over the department head.
I would agree with that.
That doesn't mean the struggles will go away, though. You could still fight about where a parade starts in a committee. I mean.
Yeah.
Ultimate, the decision comes down to the department head, the person that is an employee of the borough.
Right.
And then I guess the other thing though is residents wouldn't have a venue to go. And I guess like there's like recreation has public comment, right? And I've only attended a couple recreation meetings, so I can't really speak to like who goes and speaks to that. But like residents wouldn't then have an outlet. Like if they had questions or concerns about the programs and everything would just go directly to Max.
Yep.
And
Well, I think that's part of the.
I'm sorry, the superintendent of recreation.
That's okay.
I think that's part of the problem, right? So agreed, the open forum is nice. It's partially attended, but I think there's a lot of confusion in the borough as far as because a superintendent of recreation has never been here. So there's a lot of confusion, like where do we go for this information? Right. And I think this will allow people to proactively be able to communicate directly with the superintendent of rec, know who they are, know who he is, meet him, greet him, have that sense of I can go directly to this department head like you can any other department head as a taxpayer. And I think that'll get more visibility for Max. And I think that'll lead to a lot of less confusion for people who are involved in these types of events to know ultimately like where are these decisions being made? How can we be a part of them? How can we help? I think it's one, it makes it more centralized with one person rather than an entire commission.
Ron, this is a question for you, and I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but since you just got here, I'm gonna just. Sorry, I had to do that. So-
Right off the tip.
So, 'cause I printed out our code, so would we lose, would we lose any funding or eligibility for funding? Because it says the recreation board shall have such powers to receive financial aid as authorized by NJSA 40, 12-1.
So that's just for that commission, but the township still is running the recreation department. They still be eligible for whatever funds there would be out there for recreation activities.
You bet. I'm gonna ask the grant writer on Friday what recreation grants are out there, and then we would receive those and present those accordingly to the programs that they represent. But yeah, the
So-
funding comes.
In that statute just enables the commission to do that instead of the borough.
Okay.
So we wouldn't lose anything.
We're gonna do it anyway, so it's.
Right.
I mean, that's a good question. If the answer to that was yes, then it would make.
Well,
me
yeah, that's,
reconsider it.
yeah, just. Anybody else, we've been talking about communication comments, anybody else have any comments?
Concerns.
I think there's a lot of logic in what you were saying, Joe. I get it. I think it would be good for BA to look into that too and give us his thoughts after he's had the time to review that. I want to make sure that everybody's aligned in terms of what the roles and the responsibilities of the superintendent is, because I'm not so sure that's 100% aligned with what everybody else wants. And yeah, I think if we give Ron a little bit of time to do that, and then we can discuss.
And even meet with the superintendent, right?
Yeah, of
Like,
course, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's actually, I mean, both points are a good point, I think. Yeah, I think.
I met with him twice this week. In the 2 weeks or the 9 days I've been here, I've met with him twice. I've had some conversations with him because quite frankly, we didn't have a regular superintendent when I was here. So my first question was, you got a clear slate, but what do you do?
Yeah.
So we've started that dialogue.
oh, you started the dialogue.
Oh,
already.
absolutely.
That's great.
Enable.
That's great.
Yeah, so I know and again, I'm asking for clarity. The Recreation Commission, I mean, they're at basically every single event that happened. They're almost every single one of them are there, right? Like they're registered volunteers, they're background checked and all the necessary things that have to be done legally. So with decommissioning them, what they're running and again, I guess this leads to the conversation that has to happen is what they're planning and everything that they're doing, all that falling onto one person. Like you have a team of people that are helping plan, now you're gonna have one. So would it be an overload? And that's a question that we're gonna have to ask.
Well,
Yeah, I guess that would depend on, some of the commission members. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
And I guess who would form the committee too?
Yeah, that would be mayor appointed. I would
Right.
assume like
Is it
another
the same?
committee. Yeah, that's what I would think. But
you could also say, you could also take those people that are on the commission and make them the committee. If that was.
I do have a question, Ron, in going over the ordinance for this. I can't really see anything in here where the commission dictates what the recreation director does. Maybe it's me, but I'd like to have the opportunity to have you look at it and maybe have our attorney look at it, because I'm not reading it to where he has to run everything by the commission.
But there's a state statute for recreation commissions as well, isn't there, right?
There is, and surprisingly, I don't have it memorized.
Oh, gosh.
But I could take a look, but I believe,
Tisk.
from the brief review I did of this prior to the meeting,
Mhm.
it is basically mirroring the statute, and there really isn't much in the statute that's not in there. If the statute allows an ordinance to be adopted, and the adoption of the ordinance mirrors the statute, so I can take a look at it, but I don't think there's much in the statute that's not in the ordinance.
yeah, I think Jen, you mentioned it. I would love to get Max's take on this. Like, what is his feeling on this? And I think that would, if Max is okay with the way it's.
Do you have this?
Yeah, I do.
Because it doesn't, I don't interpret it to say that.
I'm just going by from what I've seen over the years as being part of the rec committee.
I agree. I
Like,
understand.
the field
Well,
request
that's it.
forms,
Yeah,
field
that's right
request
here. The
forms have to
board-
be approved, not only go through Max, but then have to be like just that one piece. So Max can't release a field without the commission's permission to release the field.
Right, and it also says the board may set a fee for the use of certain recreational facilities in form of permit fees, annual memberships, event fees, and or entrance fees. No fee may be established unless the governing body
Which we approved last year, remember?
approves
Mhm.
the fee by resolution
Which we did
upon
last year.
30 days of notice to the board. So, I mean, there's like very little guidance, but yeah, everything has to be approved.
Yeah, yeah, to me, I don't, it doesn't quite fit into what we currently have right now, so I think it's just something that needs to be looked at. And again, like, volunteers do a tremendous job, to Rachel's point, like, I'll use Wendy Sutton as an example. This woman is sitting at the gym right now, opening doors for people, like, we hope, she deals with, for basketball, she deals with the uniform, she deals with the parents, she deals with the referees, she deals with the scheduling, and she doesn't get paid, and she does a phenomenal job with it. I don't want to do it, right? There's not a lot of people who do want to do it. We hope, and my hope is that the people that are on the commission would stay on the committee if the mayor were to appoint them, because we need volunteers. Like, we need volunteers for everything, for the trail thing that you mentioned, Steve, right? Like, this is not what that's about. I'm not, this is not a targeted thing towards the volunteers and the job they've done, because I think they've done a tremendous job. I just think it runs in line with every other department head. To me, it's just about common sense as it relates to, one department versus another. And this is kind of just the next logical step for me. So I just want to be very clear on what my intention is with this. This is not a target at anybody or anything. It just makes sense.
So in the effort of what we are doing, right? So this, for the next meeting, would move to old business, and we would touch base on where you are and talking with Max and, I'm sorry, the superintendent. And that's the way that would go?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, well, and having, I guess my final question would be having, a new administrator back in the building, does it make any sense to kind of sit down and clarify the roles to see if things work smoother before considering decommissioning an entire board? Like giving them an opportunity to see if we can get it in a better functioning position, maybe because again, I think to Anthony's point, like there needs to be maybe more clarity.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm open to anything. I feel like there's just an extra layer of bureaucracy that doesn't make sense to me right now, because we have a recreation of a superintendent of recreation. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I think that the commission kind of overshadows that role. And I think the public is now even more confused. They're like, what do they do versus what does the super do? Like,
Right, yeah.
like everyone knows what the police chief does,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a lot of confusion as far as what the superintendent of rec does.
Mhm.
And I think this will alleviate that
And allow him to do.
and allow him to do and go crazy with rec, because that's probably the second most important thing to me in this town.
Yep.
Is recreation and getting kids involved and seeing the parks packed and everybody throwing a ball around and killing each other on the field. It's my favorite thing.
I've seen you coach, you're pretty intense.
Yeah.
He was a coach at one point. Yes.
Okay, so we'll get the rest of the
Got it.
information from the administrator. Moving on to work sessions.
So that was one of my issues, but I think it was to talk about, I don't know if last year, at the end of last year, we had talked about having a work session where the 6 of us or 7 of us could kind of meet with the administrator and discuss the goals that we had for the borough for 2026. I don't know how you guys feel about that since the emails came in, or if we want to have those, or if we want to have one, or.
I think the goal behind that was because, again, we each have different priorities. And I'm sure you love all the ideas, but I think the goal behind that was trying to prioritize so we all are in agreement of like, hey, like this is of all the things that are phenomenal for the borough, like which do we want to prioritize over the others? So I think the intent behind that was just getting us together, because when we're together, we're a quorum, and just making sure like, hey, instead of inundating you know, Ron, it's what do we really want him to focus on outside of the budget? So we're in agreement of what needs to get done. So I think that was the basis behind that.
So what would the agenda of the work session be?
Well, I think it would be,
I guess it would be fluid, right?
I guess it would, well, so because, you know, Ron just got here and asked us for all of our ideas. I think maybe it would be kind of like laying out the ideas and be like, hey, like, which do we feel should be the priority for him to work on? You know, like the Airbnbs, it's in a revenue, right, incoming. So like that's great. I think, but like I don't want to make your job harder. I want it where we all are on the same path, agreeing A, B, C, while still getting things done, you know, and all just being on the same page of the priority.
Well, I sent the email out on the 14th, and I've gotten most of them back either by email, by verbal. I can put those all in a list, and my thought with that is, can we find some common thread? Let's start there, right? Let's all get on the same page on a item, and let's go from there.
Right.
That's the easiest way, I think, to approach it, and we'll take one at a time. I asked for 3, so if we get 2 out of that we have common thread for, that's 2 that we didn't have, right?
Do we want to have a work session so we could bang that out, all of us?
Let me
together?
get that listing together, and we go from there.
I
How's
think
that?
he beat us to a punch with this email that came out. And I think if we compile the list together, maybe then we could have a work session, to gather up the information and, you know, start from 1 down to like.
Well, yeah,
10.
That was kind of.
exactly.
I hadn't
Or it
worked
can
with a
be-
lot. I worked with some of you in the past, and the biggest thing for me was, how do you want to be communicated to when stuff's happening? How do you want to get in touch with? And what's on your radar for the top priorities of the borough? And I didn't ask for 10. I just start with 3, and let's see if we can find common thread with that.
We can even, once you get the list compiled, we can actually put it on the agenda as part of new business and have a
Yeah.
discussion in new business.
Absolutely.
Once we get the list together.
I've heard economic development and I've heard real estate sales loud and clear. So I know those are on there, and I enjoy doing that. I had a blast doing that the last time. So let's get that back going. That is money in the bank.
Anything else for that? Okay, moving on to live streaming. I put this on the agenda, at the last meeting in December. Live streaming the meetings was brought up under new business. It was voted on, without a resolution. I just wanted to let the council know that I am putting it on the February 4th meeting to memorialize that with a resolution. Moving forward, we've been talking about, with all of our votes, all of our hires, everything should have a resolution attached to it. So I'm going to put that on the February 4th meeting so that we have an official resolution that goes with it. Moving on to the fire marshal, for 2026-35, we actually have a resolution for that. We've been looking to hire a fire inspector for a few, I'm going to say a few weeks, but it's been kind of baptism by fire because we need to get the inspections going. We did put it, the administrator, his first day, did put an ad into on New Jersey League of Municipalities website. And coincidentally, when our new OEM coordinator saw it, he's actually licensed to do fire inspections. So it turned out to be something that was very good for us. So we had hired him to be our fire inspector / fire marshal. I was looking for a motion to hire him.
We haven't seen the resolution.
Yes.
Oh, they haven't seen the resolution yet?
No.
We have a resolution prepared that we should pass out. And that's to appoint the person to the fire inspector's position. So that you're voting on something.
Can we just move it to the February 4th meeting? Because I don't want to vote on something that I'm just laying eyes on, right? It's.
So I do have a question. I know there's some hullabaloo going on at the county with the fire marshal services there, because we did contract out to the county, and there's a county meeting tonight at 8 o'clock, I guess, to discuss kind of what's happening with that. So what happens with the contract that we've established with the
It
county?
ended January
January.
13th.
We don't have a new
We
contract.
don't have, they terminated their services with us January 14th. We do not have inspections being done by the county, and permits are coming in.
And the reason for the urgency or permits are coming in where we have to do the fire inspections, and as people are selling their homes, they need to get the fire inspections, and we just, that's why we were rushing to try to get someone into the position. I didn't realize that the resolution didn't go out to everyone.
So what happened is when we went up to county, the FS does the audit automatically of the fire marshal office to make sure they're able to maintain the additional township that they're bringing in. When they did an audit, that's what the letters came out, that's what all the help broke loose up there.
Right.
And they have stopped services in back on, I think, December 31st. And I think you have 45 days to actually appoint the fire marshal and fire inspector. So we are kind of coming up on that time frame anyway, so.
What, do we have a salary listed on the?
Yeah, the posting went up from between $30 and $50 an hour for 13 hours a week. The candidate met us in the middle at $40 an hour for 13, I don't know, a maximum of $13 an hour. And he's here on Mondays for his OEM stuff, so he doubled up and said, while I'm here doing my OEM updates, I can go out in the field and inspect as well. So it was a very good opportunity to get the inspections going as soon as we could and get some of these permits off the desk.
I'm sorry, do you have the resolution?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I can read it. If you read it in.
Oh, is it the only copy? I can make copies.
And no, that's okay. And the only other thing is he doesn't have to work 13 hours.
No, he doesn't.
It's up to 13 hours a week, but he doesn't have to work 13.
It's just.
We only need him to inspect 2
Right,
hours.
if he doesn't have any
That's what he gets.
inspections, he doesn't get paid. And he has to produce the inspections, there's a checks and balances that go with it.
So he's doing 13 hours a week, right?
Right.
Up to.
Up to,
Yeah, but I think with the inspection, depending on how many inspections he has, 13 hours might not be enough for inspector.
Might not.
So that's what, yeah.
well, he would have to bring that back to the administrator and
Right.
say it's not enough time.
Yeah, because they have all the rules and guidelines and all the timeframe and stuff, so.
What,
But if there are fees that we are getting now as a result of these fire inspections, which should offset the cost of bringing in the fire marshal,
Yeah.
right?
They'll be coming
well, that was the
here.
whole point, right?
Yeah, all those fees come back.
A self-sustaining
They come back
department.
here instead of being charged to get it done.
Right, yeah.
I think one of the things the last time, before we outsourced, I know Shelby had notified us, like, is this, hold on, I'm trying to find the wording. Will there be call outs, like additional charges for call outs?
Yes, we do have additional call out charges within X amount of days. If somebody needs an inspection, that's within X amount of days. They pay a higher fee if they need it quickly.
Before the.
No,
the
but isn't,
inspector, he gets
Talk
the
about
call out
different
fee,
things.
yes.
Okay.
Talk about within 30 days for closing costs or within 10 days closing costs for the homeowner? Or what you're talking about is the call outs for the fire marshal
Fire
response to a fire call,
Yes.
which was, the passive fire marshal.
we just know that when we saw the
Nothing.
numbers, one was just like, much
Yeah,
higher
this-
than,
This one is not responding to those calls,
Okay.
to the call outs. He's just doing strictly the home inspections.
got it, okay, thank
And
you.
up to county, a lot of the county didn't do a lot of the inspections and they were kind of like skipping a lot of things on us. So that's why having someone in the house, I think they really help us.
Well, if someone wants to make a motion to hire Rich,
I don't think we have really an option because I think between what's happening in county and stuff,
You're right.
I don't think we have an. I'll make
The
that.
residents now, I'm sorry, the residents now, they're just kind of being told like hold.
It's on hold.
just-
It's on hold.
So we could.
We're working on it.
We could consider this emergent in nature.
You
We
could,
have
little
been
bit.
getting a lot
you
of
could
calls.
go to a state, but the state will respond, but state will take like 3 months to respond.
Yeah.
Because they're very limited resource down there in Trent.
we have a motion and a second. Can we do a roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Staying.
Ms. Johnson,
Only because I don't have a copy of it in front of me. I'm voting no.
Mr. Kukovic,
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
The people who need the inspections, thank you
Yeah.
very much. Can I have a motion? I'm sorry, moving along. All right, moving along to public comment. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
So made.
All in favor?
Aye.
The meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that is on the agenda and off the agenda.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Frank.
Frank.
Welcome. Frank Capello. The question about the cannabis, as you guys know, I've come here, voiced against it already. My question to you is how much revenue is coming in for the surrounding towns around us? We're talking about revenue, we're talking about 50,000, 100,000, a million. Is it gonna make a difference? And if the plans, I know it's probably early in whatever you guys are doing, but where is that revenue going to go? Is it gonna be to fix our infrastructure? Gonna go to rec? Is it gonna go to improvements in the town? Maybe to fund the ambulance corps, emergency services? What are the plans for the so-called revenue that's gonna come in?
So I can only talk to
I'm sorry.
Franklin.
I'm sorry. So I can tell you that the revenue, coming in from the surrounding towns, we have to find a town that's similar to Hopatcon. Because surrounding towns around us have highways that go through them. Hopacon's a destination. So when we do that survey to get that information, we have to have apples to apples type of a thing. So we have to wait till we have other towns that we can compare to Hopatcon. So we don't have those numbers for you.
Okay.
If any revenue comes in from a cannabis store, it goes into the general fund. It doesn't go anywhere specific. It just goes into the general fund. Just like tax dollars would.
Right. Okay. So we're a destination and they have highways, so their revenue stream would be much higher than ours
For recreational, yes.
Yeah.
for any kind of,
Well, manufacturing would be different. Manufacturing is manufacturing.
right?
So
We're not there yet.
Yeah,
We're still
you.
just having a conversation.
Yep. It's good to open a conversation.
No,
And I think
absolutely.
one of those other things we're thinking about, Frank, too, is delivery, which then expands to other towns.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of surrounding towns have
But the
that,
other towns have dispensaries.
just not delivery.
recreation, they don't have delivery, and manufacturing is like a niche too. So like Franklin Borough has manufacturing. They bring in about $1.2 million a year.
Right, but that's 100,000
Again,
square foot.
That's
That's
manufacturing.
100,000 square
That's
feet.
what I'm saying.
Nobody's
It's
gonna build
specific to
100,000 square foot
manufacturing.
anything in
That's-
Hopatcon.
Sure, manufacturing drugs. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
Right.
Anyone else?
Visit.
I know.
Dave?
Yeah, I just had a question on number 11, resolutions.
Yes.
I noticed Ms. Johnson voted no and abstained, but I didn't see the item listed on my sheet. In other words,
Oh,
Oh, the
That's
bill.
the bill list.
The bills.
Yeah, the bill is in
the
there.
bills list is in here. You
That
can,
was the bill list?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's an item.
It
Well,
wasn't a resolution.
No,
Oh,
12 is it's 12, it's the bill list.
oh, okay,
It's
thank
not a
you.
resolution. Thank you. Anyone else?
Shauna, we keep one copy of the bills list there. So
Checking up.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to speak?
Absolutely.
Sorry, your name?
Your name?
Tabitha Hertz. I received a letter in the mail today in regards to the fact that my water is gonna be shut off on Friday. Because I share a main shut off in the neighborhood with another neighbor. And they want me to be responsible for the installation of the service to my house. And I don't really understand how I've lived there since 1997, which is a long time. And obviously that's been there the entire time. And I don't know how I'm responsible for obviously the engineering of my water line being shared with my neighbor.
I can tell you, Tabitha, I'm not familiar with it. I obviously didn't send you the letter, otherwise I would.
No, you didn't. I'm just,
Um,
like I said, I'm a little concerned it's gonna be shut off on Friday.
What I'm gonna say is our new administrator just started.
Can I make a copy of that?
Absolutely.
And
Huh? Yeah.
and what we can do is we can, if you can leave us your name and number,
You want
Ron.
me to write it on the piece of paper that's beats it?
Yeah,
You want me to take it?
Judy's calling you.
She'll say she'll make
You
a
want me to
copy
take
if you
it?
need it.
You want it?
What's your address?
130 Marn Road. I share my shut off with, I share my shut off with 128, which is next door to me. The shut off is on their property. So
It's a shared well,
we don't have a well. I have
Public
public water.
but it's one shut off.
It's one shut off, shuts both our houses off.
Okay.
And I know the town was made aware of that many years ago, not divulging any of my personal information, but it had been shut off. And obviously both my neighbor and I were both shut off. And it was supposed to be dealt with then, which would have been in 2008, 2009. And obviously it wasn't dealt with. I came across the issue on December 14th when they shut off, my water was shut off all day and I didn't understand why. And then I was told that there was a leak and that they wanted to, they had to shut off water. And then when the water department came to my house, they informed me that I share a shut off with somebody and that one of us had a leak. And they responded to me that they would look into it. The following week on the 22nd, which was the following Monday, I was at school. My daughter was at home. They came to the house. They said that that the leak was not on my line and that they would handle the other line and that to separate the line would be a summer problem because shutting off the water and taking care of it in the winter would be difficult to take care of the piping and that extra shut off and all of that. So this came as a very big surprise to me that this was gonna occur. So I guess I'm kind of concerned about what would really be my responsibility if I didn't do the engineering of the developments. And they're saying to me it is, and that they're gonna shut off my water and it kind of infers that if I don't pay it, I'm not gonna be connected.
Well, again, Tabitha, what I'm gonna say, if you can give us your name and number.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that Mr. Tappan will reach out for the engineer. I know that, I had several conversations, with the engineer in reference to this, specific spot, because there was that issue with the shut off and the two homes, and it was very odd that it was the two homes, because the water lines were put in the 90s. There should have been no reason why they were separated. But from what I understood, they were, the shut off had not been discovered yet back in December, from what I was aware of on the properties between the two properties.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that's been determined yet where that shut off is, because
I know it's on 128.
it's on 128.
Right.
Okay.
I know that.
Okay.
Not that I'm the engineer or anything. I just happen to see the blue little cap that's on their property and I don't have
So
one.
you know that it's on yours. Okay, so what we can do is we can certainly have Mr. Tappan look into it. I'm sure that we're not going to shut your water off. I'm sure that that's not the issue.
Well, I guess I got really concerned because with the upcoming situations that might pertain over the weekend, I would really not.
No,
wanna
of
be-
course, of course.
I just thinking water systems with one shut off, how do they just shut you off?
They don't just shut me off, they shut me and my neighbor
That's my
off.
point. So,
I'm sure that,
I don't know
I'm sure Ron will be
engineering
able
that
to
works.
come up with something for you. So,
Like, thank you, I appreciate your time.
no problem.
So is there any follow-up I need to do on this?
No, is that your cell phone number?
Yes,
And again, you're in school during the day, so he'd have
I
to
am.
reach you.
yes. Do you want my work number?
I will text you. How's that?
That would be great.
How's that?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So if you see this weird number, it's me. I'll identify myself. So
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Tabitha. Anyone else?
No.
Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back?
Motion.
I only have one comment that I actually neglected to say in my opening statement when I was talking about Ron. Ron came on his first day on Monday and he said, do me a favor, give me a list of your top 10 things. And I want to say by the end of Monday, Ron had 3 of those things off the list. One of them took him 20 minutes. I was very impressed. And by the end of Friday, he had gotten the 4th one off the list out of the top 10. So I have to acknowledge that. And I know that you're going to take care of Tabitha tomorrow and I'm happy about that. That's my only comment that I have. Thank you everyone for coming. I do need a motion to go into executive session for discussions of personnel.
Will there be motion taken after?
There will be no action taken after.
Action, yes.
So you don't need to linger because we won't be doing anything after.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
That would be no.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic, Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye, have a good one.
Thank you, Judy.
Thanks, Judy. See you tomorrow.
Hi, how you doing?